Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pop Go the Writers. How's everybody? It's a new year. We're in 2023. We're in the year of Zardoz. I spent part of the day looking for a crochet pattern, how to make that outfit, because I figured red yarn was the way to go for a Zardoz costume.
Boy, it seems like it's been a while since we've done this show.
It's been a couple weeks. We
Yeah.
didn't do the week before Christmas, and we didn't do Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even sure what your name is anymore. I think I forgot.
it's down there.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah. Okay, good. I see it there. All right. Well, I hope you know what you're doing, because I don't know. I have to relearn this whole thing again.
I was saying, for the year or so that you've known me, does it seem like I know what I'm doing? Because I'm thinking no.
Hi, folks. We're in big trouble. We're in big trouble here.
So, how did you spend your New Year's, your New Year's Eve?
I sold my soul to MeTV yesterday evening. I worked until 4, came home, ate my Chinese leftovers that I got a big Chinese dinner on Friday night and had my leftovers, and then I started building I was building my jigsaw puzzle as I watched. Oh, you know what? No, I started off with Gamera last night. I just bought the nice set of the Showa era Gamera movies, and I decided to tuck into it last night. So I watched the very first Gamera movie from 1965, and
Nice.
as I was watching it, I suddenly realized I had never seen it before, because it's in black and white. It starts and I'm going, oh, that's interesting, black and white. And I'm watching, and nothing seems really familiar. And it's like, I know damn well that the Gamera movies I watched when I was a kid were in color. And here it turns out the very first one, like Godzilla, is in black and white. And I know damn well that I never watched a black and white Gamera movie when I was a kid. So that was a really fascinating experience. And then there's like 6 or 7 Gamera movies in the Showa era, which would be 60s and 70s. And I kind of went through descriptions, and they pretty much only showed 2, and they showed them a lot when I was little on the Monster Week on the afternoon movie and all that stuff. So here it is I'm looking forward to this. I've got a bunch of Gamera stuff that I've never seen before.
Nice.
And then what did I watched Svengoolie, and he had Earth versus the Spider, which is a really terrible movie, but fun to watch with Svengoolie. And then Sventooni was after that, and then Batman, and then Star Trek. And then and that took me up to midnight, and I went to bed. I hope yours was as thrilling.
You're going to laugh. Lisa got sick, so I spent Christmas Eve with her and her family, and she was too sick to come down for Christmas, and has been sick all week.
Oh.
So we canceled plans and chatted on the phone through the evening and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
hopefully not COVID, right?
No,
Good.
Just a really bad cold.
Well.
But something I've been wanting to try to make. I've been using looms and stuff, like the hat I made, stuff like that. Kyle has asked me to make him a Jane hat from Firefly.
I love it.
So I've started on that, but I just wanted to try something different, and I remembered seeing a way to make socks on a loom.
Yeah.
So I made what I call the New Year's socks, because this one was made in 2022, and I still have to make the one for 2023.
It's an overarching pair of socks. It stretches over 2 years. That's amazing.
Well, I feel like I've got the full year to make it, so I don't have to rush. But just so
they're done by December 31st, right?
I literally finished this just before midnight. So, but so I didn't have much else to do. I had spent the night before building and painting some Warhammer miniatures with
Yeah,
my.
you're really going whole hog on that Warhammer stuff, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to try and get into it. Hey, Brandy. Yep, we are live now. So
Speak for yourself, Dan.
yeah. But yeah, I did a show with someone came in and was explaining Warhammer. I'm going to do one on painting, and I figure I saw so many people wanting to know what Warhammer was, how to play, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephew and his friends all play. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn and bring everybody along with me.
Yeah.
And I picked an army. Lisa's also going to do one. So that should be interesting too. Maybe I can actually film a game between her and I.
I love that idea. It's now Warhammer's been around for a while now. When was it introduced?
40 some odd years. I think it was in the mid 70s.
Wow, it was okay. So it goes back that far. That's
Yeah.
okay. Wow, and it's always been called Warhammer.
Yeah, there's two versions. There's Warhammer 40K and Warhammer, what they call Age of Sigmar. So there's a fantasy version of Warhammer set in like Lord of the Rings time, and they also do Lord of the Rings miniatures too. Same company. And then there's the 40K, which is futuristic.
Yeah, science fiction kind of stuff.
Yeah, science fiction, space marines and aliens, and yeah. So I picked a group called the Grey Knights, which are a group of space marines that have psychic abilities and the ability to teleport. So my poor nephew, as I was getting into this, and he started reading up more and more, it's like, yeah, your guys can do this, and they can teleport it, and he stopped dead. He's like, your army seems to be specifically built to kill my army.
well, duh, right? You're not here to lose. That's funny.
Yeah, but Randy brings a good point that I think that Warhammer was kind of an answer to D&D.
Well, it's what we used to call war gaming as opposed to role playing, right?
Right. Yeah. But there's very little role playing in this. It's all, I mean, there's lore and backstory, and every named character has some big grandiose story.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to get into all of that.
Well, you're not playing necessarily individuals. You're playing armies for the most part, troops or whatever. You're not, having one person come up against one other person and talking it out. And
in most cases, though, there are some armies that have big mech robots and stuff. There's something called a what is it? A Titan. There's this giant figure that, I mean, literally it's like a $2,000 figure.
I've seen some of those figures for that game.
I think it's a Titan Warbringer, and it would be so many points that's all you could play. So basically you'd have this entire army trying to bring down this one guy. So yeah. Or in my case, like yes, like the old Civilization game. So basically, it's a strategy game. It's a tabletop strategy game.
Yeah. Would you say, like, Hero Clicks is sort of a version or inspired by that in a way?
Yeah, there's some similarities.
Okay.
Yeah. Because each figure has its own abilities and stuff like that. Like I said, my guys are psychic, so they can cast these equivalent of spells, and like I said, they can teleport. So my nephew, who's got a big line of snipers set up, my guys can just drop in behind him and start killing.
What kind of a play surface are you using? Is you just a flat mat, or you got like terrain or things?
Most people end up building terrain together.
Yeah.
And I'll be putting that together. I've got some like aquarium pieces that I can use.
Cool.
Stuff like that.
Cool. That's what would attract me to something like that. Is have a, three-dimensional type of, terrain. Did I hear there's a movie in the works? Isn't it like Chris Hemsworth or something like that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, Henry Cavill, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry Cavill, Chris Hemsworth, it's all the same.
Yeah, big hunky looking guys.
All right. with accents.
What's funny is I was actually starting to get into it and talking to my nephew, and had just about picked my army when the news that Henry's going to lead a Warhammer cinematic universe came out. And I'm like, oh yeah, a lot of people are going to want to know what this game is now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like The Witcher, oh yeah, there's a bunch of people playing the Witcher games. Suddenly Henry Cavill is The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's buying the books and they're playing the games. And
now, were you a role play guy back in the day?
I wasn't. I actually didn't play Dungeons and Dragons until, I want to say, 2017.
Okay, that's why you're not in my book then.
Yeah, I got a call from or a message from Matt Hawkins over at Top Cow, who I was doing some work for. He's like, I'm going to put a game together. We're going to meet at this comic shop and play there. Do you want to play?
Mm.
And then about 5 minutes later, I get another email from him. By the way, you can say no, and I'll still give you work.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'm in.
Obviously, that had happened to him before.
So, and yeah, we put together a group and played for quite a bit of time.
Fun.
And that led me to Lisa's daughter asked me to teach them how to play.
Fun.
So I learned to DM for that. And then another group of friends were like, oh, Dan's learning to DM. He's our new DM too. So for
I always had to be the DM in my group, back in high school because I was good at it and nobody else really wanted to put the effort into it. They just wanted to play. They didn't want to have to sit there and plan everything. But here's Jim, who loved to draw maps and and have all this stuff. And I'm a control freak too. I'm a ringmaster, so of course I had to be that. These last couple of days, I've gotten a flood of essays coming in for the next volume in my Memories from Grown Up Kids series, because it's about being playing role-playing games in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And, it's been really fun reading everybody's reminiscing about the old days of playing D&D and Traveler and Champions and the Marvel superhero role-playing game and the Star Trek, the original Star Trek, the role-playing game.
I played the Marvel one when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have anybody to play with, so I only played like a couple times total.
Yeah.
Jay, that is the Space Marine one.
That was huge because I had tried other superhero role-playing games, and they're all just so damn complicated or hard when it should just be rock'em sock'em. And the Marvel one came out, and the fighting system was just so easy, and it had a lot of, if you pardon the pun, punch to it. And so that was the one that we ended up playing the most as far as superhero role-playing.
Yeah, you had that little city map, and you put the guys out.
Yeah.
And I remember a buddy of mine was playing Thor, and I ended up killing him with like some nondescript character. I don't remember who.
I can't imagine what that.
Yeah, like somebody who could not kill a god. Like,
good for you.
So
Happy New Year to you, Jay. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Jay. Hope you and Jenna have a good New Year, and we'll see you this week. All right, so you didn't see Glass Onion.
No, I was going to say, that goes on record. You're already mad at me for not watching Glass Onion, but I've heard very good things about it.
I'm not mad with you. I'm disappointed for you.
Oh, okay, sure. I know. It's. I just, you know what I mean. To have all these streaming services when I probably wouldn't end up watching them that much because of all the other things, that I do. I mean, I find that Disney Plus covers my streaming needs, and so I watch a lot of stuff on that. But what did I just? Somebody I just know said that they watched Glass Onion and they said they really liked the way it looked like Daniel Craig was really having a good time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He always looks like he's just miserable when he does the Bond movies.
I don't think so, but I'll tell you, okay, I won't argue with that one. But
Yeah.
so I guess what? They'll probably keep going with these things then?
When Netflix made the deal to get them, they made a deal for 2 movies. So Knives Out was already made, so they got Glass Onion and a sequel. So there's at least one more,
Okay.
but I don't see them stopping. And like I said, Daniel Craig's having a blast.
And they're not based on, they're original to this?
Their original, Ryan Johnson, it's his own detective, a guy named Benoit Blanc, who is, how do you describe Benoit Blanc? He sounds a bit like Foghorn Leghorn. I'll say, yeah.
He's from the South.
He's from, very South.
Yeah.
There's a famous historian named Shelby Foote that knows. Yeah, you know who Shelby Foote is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Shelby Foote has that accent, and that's the accent Daniel Craig went for.
Okay.
Specifically, Shelby Foote. So that's the accent he has. In the first one, he gets called in to help solve the murder of a mystery writer who's the patriarch of a family, played by Christopher Plummer.
Mm-hmm.
And the cast is Michael Shannon, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Ana de Armas. And it's just this amazing cast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Netflix picked it up, and they did the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, it's only Benoit Blanc is back because it's like a Hercule Poirot movie.
Sure.
You know, the Janelle Monáe is in it, Dave Bautista, Ed Norton, Kate Hudson, Catherine Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr. Leslie Odom Jr. is interesting because he's now been in both a Benoit Blanc mystery and a Hercule Poirot mystery, having done Murder on the Orient Express.
Right. These are set in now, right? They're not historical pieces, right?
Actually, this one is set during the pandemic, and they deal with the masks and stuff in it. So, but there's a bunch of ridiculous little cameos in it too. It's like, why is that person in the movie?
But they're not comedies, right?
There is a lot of humor to them, but the murder mystery is serious.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke shows up for just like I said, a bizarre cameo. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's a good friend of Ryan Johnson, always appears in every movie he does, and in these two, he's a voiceover. One of them, there's a detective movie on a TV, and he's the voice of the detective on the TV. And in this one, there's this giant dong, like a gong that goes off at the hourly. They call it the hourly dong, and it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt recorded it.
Well, that's a weird cameo. What I'm enjoying is the thought of all the people who hate Ryan Johnson because of Last Jedi and like these, and they're probably so conflicted in their heads. They're like, no, wait a minute. I have to hate him because of Last Jedi, but I really like these things, and I don't know what to think anymore.
Well, see, I think if anything, these movies redeem Ryan Johnson and put Star Wars management in question, like Kathleen Kennedy, because if you're hiring somebody to do a movie and you get somebody whose main thing is subverting expectations, you can't be upset when he subverted expectations, and that's what he did with Last Jedi.
Right, of course he did. That's exactly what he did.
But they love it when he does it with these. I mean, everything God, I wish you would have seen it.
Well, don't say anything, because maybe someday I will.
Yeah, it's just the big reveal isn't your classic big reveal. it's got this twist to it that is very Rian Johnson, very subverting expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But it does feel like it's in the vein of an Agatha Christie murder mystery. So it's Rian Johnson building on that archetype.
Sure.
And then taking these little strange twists. And they're great. I absolutely love the movie.
Is Knives Out on Netflix right now?
I believe it is.
Okay. I don't know. I'll look into it. Maybe there's like a free trial and I can watch both of them or something,
Yeah,
it would help if Netflix had the first movie, of course. And you said that was theatrical and this is only on Netflix.
Well, they put it in the theater for a week so that it could get Emmy consideration.
Oh, sure.
Or Oscar consideration.
For sure, yeah. Right.
So, but it made a lot of money in that week.
I bet. It's amazing how I was just talking with somebody about how the lines are blurred between movies and TV. It's almost that there isn't any lines between them anymore.
Yep. I was just looking to see if where it was.
Okay, I was so worried for you there for a moment. I was like, Dan, are you having a stroke? You're just frozen.
Yeah, it seems to be Knives Out seems to be available for rent on just about all the services.
Okay.
Like Vudu and Amazon Prime. And
sure.
YouTube.
I'm sure I can probably find it on my TV then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I love those movies. They're both great.
Cool.
So, all right, let's go ahead and switch to Willow.
I have a funny story about Willow.
You're not up to date?
No, I am, but just like last night, I went through all of Wednesday, and then it was Thursday, and a friend of mine at work who I've been, saying that I'm watching Willow, he hasn't watched it yet. And I think he said something to me like, how's Willow doing or whatever? And I just stopped like you and I was like frozen for a while. And I'm like, oh crap. I didn't watch Willow this week. I had literally totally forgotten. It might even have been Friday that I remembered, like 2 days later. And yeah. I said to myself, wow, this is what it's come to, like I just totally forgot to even watch it. But I watched it last night, and I have to say that I'm for the most part, I'm still enjoying it, but it is becoming annoying to me because it has become, it was a drama with some comedy in it, and it's become a comedy with some drama in it.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And it is, I mean, I like comedies that have some serious moments in them, but that's not what I think was sold to us or me or whatever. I mean, if I had known that going into it, I could have adjusted my brain.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's to the point where, and especially in this last one, where how many times was I taken out of what was going on because everybody has to get the one-liners in.
Yeah.
It's just, so now I'm not sure what the heck the filmmakers and everybody are doing, if that they're just totally mocking, the whole Willow world and concept and everything, or I don't get it. But then there are things that happen in it that I really liked. It was pretty cool to have Christian Slater show up. I thought I'm like, why did that guy voice sound familiar? And I'm like peering at him. I'm like, oh my God, that's Christian Slater.
Yep, Christian Slater, who sounds like a young Jack Nicholson. No matter how old he gets, he sounds like a young Jack Nicholson.
Yes, that's very true. Well, what was funny was when he said, I'm Mad Mardigan, I thought, oh my God, they recast. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, that can't be right. And
Yeah.
sure enough, it's not. But what an interesting moment there concerning Mad Mardigan. That one interesting thing that happens, and like I was just telling another friend, how surprised I am how deep they're going into making Mad Mardigan a plot point. I mean, they're not shying away from, I thought that what they were totally going to just kind of gloss over his absence, and it's not. It's
No.
huge now,
The intention originally was to have Val Kilmer show up.
Yeah.
But because of COVID and stuff, they couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
And see, I'm kind of mixed right now because I'm with you in that it's a little sillier than I want. There's still parts I enjoy. I like this last episode more than the one before it, and it's mainly because of Christian Slater and Borman and the interaction between the two of them.
Yeah, sure.
Because I like Borman. I've really come to like Graydon. It's
me too. Totally.
It's Kit and Elora that I'm like,
You know who I'm on is I hate to say it, I can't even think of the name of her character.
Jade. Jade.
Yes, Jade. She's still kind of like nobody or nothing. Like they're like, I don't know. I think I said this in the beginning. There's kind of too many characters for them to be able to let everybody grow, And I was really surprised at how much Graydon has not only grown but grown on me. And as much as I want to slap Kit around, I mean, she's still fascinating in what she's doing and what's going on, although she just can be very annoying sometimes. I love Elora so much because I think it's exactly how I would feel if I was in her position. Like, you are the great Elora Danan, and it's like, I'm not so sure I want to be great, but I love it that the magic is coming out of her naturally. And Willow's kind of like here I am trying to teach her, and maybe I don't have to do anything. And I love that little moment when they get back together and they're like, he's like, yelling at her and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I kind of missed you. And he's like, I kind of missed you too. That was a good moment. The part that pissed me off was when somebody sneezes, I think it's Elora, and somebody says Gesundheit, and I'm like, oh, they speak German in this universe. That's the stuff that just takes me out of it. When people just totally talk like it's 2023, and when the lead troll opens his mouth and starts talking, I was like, no, this is just dumb. It's not like, funny, it's dumb.
It's like, can they be somewhat threatening?
Not
sound like unhappy accountants?
Well, you know what? I keep getting Monty Python vibes from the show, and I'm like, that shouldn't be, or like promote it as Monty Python meets Willow. Don't tell me it's a Willow sequel, because I'm going to expect some funny stuff, some funny lines, but anyways, I'm going to stick through it because I like the world. It looks good. Blah, blah, blah. I really want to know what happens. This.
I'm that way too. By the way, isn't Monty Python meets Willow Time Bandits?
Yes, you are absolutely. And you know what? I like Time Bandits, but I think it was promoted as being more or less a comedy. A weird comedy. I'm thinking of Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a comedy with some serious stuff in it. The scary stuff is actually scary. It's like, just promote it that, the Willow, a comedy series, on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I think they need to be a little more serious because we're not getting the danger.
Absolutely, we're not getting, unless we're not supposed to. But yeah, it's like, Although I must admit, the way this last episode ends seemed to be pretty dangerous. Me, who I can't swim, I totally felt the tension going on there. So we'll see. We'll definitely. How many episodes is it?
It's supposed to be 8.
Okay, so we have 2 more then.
2 more.
Okay.
And then
I've got to know what the hell's going on with this Mad Mardigan thing.
Well, I don't think we'll get that resolution this season, so we got to hope for a sequel.
Okay.
And I don't know if the numbers are good enough.
Yeah, that's my worry, because I haven't seen anybody much talking about it. Because there's a big question that I have of what something that they did and how they did it concerning Mad Mardigan. I didn't understand what I was hearing.
Yeah, the voiceover thing.
Yeah, do you understand what the hell that? Why?
I don't think we're necessarily supposed to yet.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a trap or if that was actually supposed to be him.
Well, what I mean by this is whose voice is that? What did they use to make that? Because
the Kilmer.
Yeah, I don't get that at all, because I don't think it's sampled from the past.
Well, they have technology now to be able to pull from the past, because that's what they did for Top Gun. His dialogue in Top Gun is not him speaking.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
No.
Well, and they did that, I know, with Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian, okay, so that, because he says Kit, and it's like, unless they were able to extract that syllable or whatever from something that he said in the past, it was very interesting. I hope they'll talk about that at some point.
He might have said kitten in the Batman movies.
Yeah, I'm sure that maybe they could have pulled it from something, but it was done well.
Yeah. It sounded like him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. A young him. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to play that out. I thought Christian Slater was great.
Yes, very much so, and I'm praying for him.
Yeah, I love when he admitted to having the hots for Kit's mom. It's like
Saoirse. Yeah,
I think we all did, didn't we? At that point, she was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so. I did like that quite a bit. That's funny. Because right, I think we all did, actually.
And he's that right age that he was probably our age when he saw the movie. So
yeah. Let's see. Do you remember he had a little cameo in
Star Trek?
Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
Because I think his mother was the casting director or something like that. Yeah, he has that little scene where he goes to wake Captain Sulu up to tell him something, and then he's kind of smart alecky, and Sulu slaps him down. Yeah, so I can't remember what year that was. That was in the 90s, but so yeah, he would have been a kid.
Well, he was born in 1969.
Oh, he's 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, he's a year older than me.
Okay.
He started his show business career appearing on the soap opera The Edge of Night in 1976 at the age of 7.
Wow. A lot of people began that way.
Yep.
But yes, I like the character. I'm so glad that it seems like he is who we see, and it's not another scam. And I like the way they developed with Kit. Kit, you can see her growing to like him, and that I really appreciated over the arc of the episode. So I'm hoping. I can't imagine that. I mean, that they probably would like to bring him back. I can't imagine that he's dead. We didn't see a body.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was very, very fun, and I'm I'm hoping that pretty much everything he said was truthful, and that stupid Borman is the one that's the big liar.
I just wish they wouldn't have done all the fight scenes so damn dark again.
At least it was better. I get what you're saying, but it certainly wasn't that one episode where it was like almost completely blacked out. Yeah, I don't know if they're learning as they go along or what, but yeah.
Okay. Well, let's shift on to one other show. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it.
Knowing me and knowing you, probably not, but we'll give it a try.
This would have been the third season of Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime.
No.
This is the third season for John Krasinski.
Mm-hmm.
And Prime just dropped all the episodes, so I binged watched it. Mind you, I watched like one or two episodes, or I watched one episode, and then a couple days later I watched two, and then I sat down and thought I'll watch another one, and I ended up watching the last 5.
Wait, John Krasinski? You mean Reed Richards?
Yes, I mean Reed Richards.
Okay.
I'm
still holding out hope.
It's a fascinating arc they've done with these 3 seasons, because Ryan, if you followed the Harrison Ford versions, was a paper pusher first. Mm-hmm. He wasn't a field agent, and he kept getting pulled into the field. And that's kind of what they did here. The first season of John Krasinski is like Jim from The Office almost. Not the comical way, but he's a guy who, he's getting shot at and he's reacting like somebody who doesn't have experience.
Right.
And he's very clean shaven. He's, comes across that way. Season 2, he's much more veteran of these things now. He's got a beard, and he's reacting to things better. Mm-hmm. So even though he's still reacting to things, he's doing well. Mm-hmm. The third season, it's more of a scruff instead of a full beard, and he's planning things. He's a step ahead of people. Hmm. So you're seeing this character growth, and I think that's remarkable what they've done. It's a really fascinating plot because it heavily involves Ukraine and Russia.
It's very timely.
Yeah, very timely. Mm-hmm. To the point where a group of fringe Russians are trying to start a nuclear conflict using Ukraine to goad the Americans into a war because they feel that Russia has lost its prominence in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's a fascinating story. Some great characters. Wendell Vaughn playing Jim Greer, the part that James Earl Jones played in the Harrison Ford ones. Great. He does a great job in that. What's his name?
Is that supposed to be, the name's supposed to be evocative of Pam Grier?
I don't know. But it's been a character for a long time in these books. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, I could see the, was it Tom Clancy? Yeah, Tom Clancy, naming the character in honor of her, her.
Yeah, I could see that. The other thing I find interesting is they took a character he kind of reoccurs in the novels, but not a lot. And they make him more of a regular character. Mm-hmm. And he's played by Michael Kelly. Mm-hmm. The character's name is Mike November. And he keeps popping up, and he really is he's like the soldier of fortune that keeps popping in and helping out. But he's from House of Cards and Black Mirror and Man of Steel. He was in Man of Steel as Steve Lombardi.
Steve Lombardi. Okay, wow.
But I really enjoy these seasons. But I like these shows. I mean, I get hooked on these and Jack Reacher, the other show on Amazon Prime.
Is there a new season of that? Have I heard that?
That's in the works. Alan Rich is filming that right now. And there's going to be an Alex Cross series with Aldous Hodge.
Mm-hmm.
So who I thought was awesome in Black Adam, which I finally got to see. Now I know
But not Wakanda Forever.
have not seen Wakanda Forever. I still haven't been to the movie theater.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to know there's something that you haven't seen that I have seen.
Yes.
Well, I saw it twice, so I saw it for you. I saw it once for me and then once for you.
And it's going to pop up on Disney Plus, and I'll watch it and we can talk about it.
I would imagine before too long it should.
Yeah, they usually do about 45 days, so I would expect it in the next couple weeks. So that'll get us to, I think, closing or the big topic. This is, of course, first day of the new year. So if we're looking back at 2022, just off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite series that you saw during 2022?
Definitely Andor. I'm gonna, I'm trying to think of things. I saw a little meme today about celebrating the Star Wars shows that we got in 2022, and I was kind of thinking about them, and it's Andor, Tales of the Jedi, Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan. And as much as I liked parts of Boba Fett, there's no way that's on top. And I liked more of Obi-Wan, even though there was a few moments that I didn't, but overall I still liked it. But Andor was pretty much a consistent, week after week after week, and situations and characters that I'm still thinking about and looking forward to, checking in with them again. So that's definitely, on top there. I'm trying to think of all the Marvel shows. What all did we get in 2022? Moon Knight, yeah, Ms. Marvel,
She-Hulk.
Oh,
and then the two specials.
Right, Hawkeye was at the end of 2021, right? And then the two specials. As far as the series go, wow, it's definitely not Ms. Marvel. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. I'm going to say I probably like She-Hulk the best. Even though how you can compare Moon Knight to She-Hulk, I don't know. And I liked Moon Knight a lot. I'm going to say She-Hulk definitely won out for me. But really, if I had to just pick one Marvel project from the entire year, it's going to be Werewolf by Night. Definitely. Just what a surprise to get something like that when I wasn't even expecting it. I remember at one point I was checking it around to see if it was still even like a thing, or was it just a rumor? Was it really in production? And then, finally we get to hear, oh yeah, it's coming out. And what a nice surprise when basically we didn't know anything about it for the most part. And then we get that trailer and that pushed all the buttons for me. So that's, as far as Marvel goes, that's definitely the thing that's on top. And then as far as a series go, it's definitely going to be She-Hulk.
For me, Andor for Star Wars was just phenomenal. Was next level.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing they've done in a long time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Kenobi.
I did too.
Yeah. It was fun. I loved seeing Ewan McGregor back. I had fun with it.
I mean, in the end, isn't that what counts? And that's what I usually do. I walk away from something and I say, did I have fun with it or didn't I have fun with it? And there was an uphill battle for me with Obi-Wan because I had to stick up my butt for the most part about that, because I said, this show has to convince me that it has a reason to exist, because I didn't feel like it was necessary to take one little line from A New Hope and make a whole show about it. It wasn't necessarily necessary, but I walked away like loving little Leia, like what a surprise that was too. Like
Yeah.
totally wasn't expecting that.
Book of Boba Fett was kind of hit or miss for me. There were some things I enjoyed about it. It was a fun series, but there was a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
And when two of your episodes have nothing to do with Boba Fett, now how do you call it Book of Boba Fett? So, Tales of the Jedi was a mixed one for me. I really enjoyed the Count Dooku stories.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care about the Ahsoka stories. I don't feel they added anything, where I really felt the Dooku stories added to the character, added to the depth of the character.
That's a very good point.
So,
I was pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed the Ahsoka stories. Not necessarily the first one when she's, a baby, but again, not having watched Clone Wars or Rebels, it was nice to be able to enjoy those, episodes with her. I think I would walk away saying that I enjoyed the Dooku stuff and the Ahsoka stuff equally from that series, and I would definitely hope that they'll do some more Tales of the Jedi.
yeah, I'd love to see them do Mace Windu.
Definitely.
I would love to see more of Mace Windu.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would, what the highlight of that series was for me? That Yaddle got basically a whole story.
Yeah.
That was very, very cool. I'd like to see that with other members of the Jedi Council, that just didn't get
any. With a big head. That would be great.
Yeah. I can't think. It's something Poof or something is that character's name. I can't think of what it is. But yeah, I'm sure everybody would like to see. Oh crap! The name just flew out of my head. He's got kind of this metal thing in here and this big stuff.
Plo Koon.
Huh?
Plo Koon.
Plo Koon. That's it. Yeah, I'm sure everybody would really,
Oh yeah.
There's some great. I'd like to see guy with the big head, the cone head.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Definitely. Give them some more time. That would be really cool. But I'm totally on board with your Mace Windu idea, and I can't imagine they're not going to do that.
He's too cool a character not to do something with.
Yeah, the young Mace Windu adventures.
Yeah. Now for Marvel, I loved Moon Knight. That just clicked on all levels for me.
Good.
So I'm going to put that like there, and then Werewolf by Night. Right there. I mean, it's if Werewolf by Night was a little longer, it probably could have passed Moon Knight.
You have a moon fetish going on.
I really enjoyed the Christmas special, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yeah, I didn't even bring that up, but yeah, I did. I really did, but I like Werewolf better.
Yeah, and I liked both She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. I think I liked Miss Marvel better than She-Hulk. And what's funny is She-Hulk, I loved what they did because of how it kind of stayed true to the comics that John Byrne did.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, but at the same time, it really made things confusing for the overall universe in a way I wouldn't have thought of when John Byrne was doing those comics. It's like, oh, she's talking to the audience. She's talking to the reader. What does that mean for this character over here? What does that mean for Spider-Man? Where when you have a combined universe like this, you kind of start questioning that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that didn't occur to me. I think it's a valid thing that you're bringing up. It didn't occur to me, other than it could be written off that it's all just in her head too. Like I doubt if anybody else could necessarily access the real universe and go and see Kevin. But
So yeah, that's the only part about She-Hulk. And it's not even the talking to the breaking the fourth wall. It was literally the ending, which I thought was great for a John Byrne type story, but it really does kind of throw everything into question. And then you go, well, wait a minute, you just introduced Hulk's son, so we have to take this seriously. But you also went and broke through the Disney Plus menu. How are we supposed to reconcile that?
Okay, I mean, would you say at this point in time that that was just way too much for the average Marvel Studios viewer?
I think so. I think it was a little over the top for your average person. Your comic reader is not going to be a problem. For a lot of people, it's not going to be a problem. But your casual, your people that only know Marvel from the movies, that's going to be a little bit too much.
I almost think the same. The people who wouldn't have been able to handle that were the people kind of complaining in the earlier episodes of WandaVision that they just couldn't roll with this idea of a TV show, like in the 50s or 60s or whatever, where I was just loving every moment of it. But there was so many people that just were basically saying, this is crap. What's going on?
Like the fact that Wanda has these reality warping abilities kind of keeps it within the realm.
Yeah.
So She-Hulk doesn't have any powers to do this.
Right.
So
well, then that's where you have to walk away saying, she has some mental aberrations going on. Yeah.
She cray.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But I think I said it before. If I think if one thing 2022 showed us in terms of Marvel Studios is that they can go and do almost anything now. I mean, that was some real diversity from the fairly dead, serious Moon Knight stuff to a teen drama with Ms. Marvel to the just bonkers She-Hulk, and then we get something like out of left field like Werewolf by Night, and then end it all up with a light-hearted, goofy holiday special with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they really proved, and this isn't even talking about the movies that they put out. The movies were a little bit more of what we expect from Marvel Studios, but I think in 2022 they really said, guys, sit back and strap yourselves in because we're going to go all over the place now. We got 10 plus years under our belt, and we got all these characters yet to explore. We're just, we got something for everybody. Just sit back.
All right. What about movies? Of the movies you saw,
one movie that I did really like was Dune.
Wasn't that last year?
Oh, well, yeah, 2022. Wasn't it in 2022?
No, I think it was 2021.
Oh, wow. I thought it was 2022. All right. Then I didn't like it at all. I hated it.
It came out around the same, a little after Black Widow, which was last year. 2021.
Right? Okay, sorry. Wow. Okay, so I have to think about what I went to see then. Well,
Dune was awesome. I love Dune.
Yeah. The Marvel movies then. We had Thor, and we had
Doctor Strange and Black Panther.
Of those three, I liked. It's almost a tie between Doctor Strange and Wakanda Forever, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Wakanda Forever.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, see, for me, I can include, besides the ones you mentioned, I can't include Black Panther because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I did get to the theaters to see Death on the Nile, which I really loved, and Glass Onion, and Black Adam, Doctor Strange, the Batman, Thor: Love and Thunder. And for me, the two murder mysteries, Glass Onion and Death on the Nile, were really up there for me. Both I thought were fantastic. I think the Batman would be the top comic book movie for me
Hmm.
because it really just was gritty. It was grounded and introduced this new version of Batman that I really liked. And I did like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, other than the scene with the Illuminati. That just,
I think that's one of the parts I like the best because
yeah.
with me it's like give me more characters, give me more characters that we haven't seen yet,
Well, I'm
please.
fine with giving more characters, but just the way they were killed was disturbing to me.
Yes, okay, that part, yes,
Yeah,
but
Black
I
Bolt
rolled with
specifically.
that knowing that they weren't, our version, our own
Yeah,
of those. But here, I'm still that kid back in the 70s who was like, I need more superheroes, please. I need more and more superheroes. I can't get enough of them. I wish I could remember if I saw something else. God, could it be that I only saw that doesn't seem right that I only saw three movies in the theater last year. There had to have been something else. There was no Godzilla movies, right? Okay. And there weren't no big like fantasy epics, right?
you didn't go see Avatar, did you?
No. Hush your mouth. No, I didn't see the first one.
Me
Uh
neither.
not interested. That's interesting. I'll have to like kind of look back at a list of movies of 2022, and I swear that there was something else that I went to see, but I can't think of what it would be. Was there any other big? When was the second Suicide Squad movie? That was in 2021.
Yes,
Okay.
came out before Dune. It came out in like August. Dune came out in November.
Okay.
Now some series that we didn't cover, but I really liked.
Yeah.
Second season of Only Murders in the Building. Peacemaker.
I just remembered what. Go ahead.
The Boys season 3 or 4. I don't remember which one it is. Sandman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Those were all really good.
Yeah.
The new Jack Ryan series, Jack Reacher. Hated the Terminal List.
Okay. Okay.
But
I still haven't gotten to the best one yet.
what was it?
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. Yes, I thought okay.
That's my
really
favorite TV series of the year.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's really good.
That's the one that I enjoyed the most out of, even more than all the Marvel things. Maybe not necessarily Werewolf by Night, but no, I'm gonna say I think Rings of Power was the thing that I was most excited about. Every episode, like pretty much everything about it, and can't wait for a second season. So I guess that was the highlight of my year was Rings of Power.
If I had to pick one series above all others, and it's the one that hit all my expectations and exceeded them, I happily watched a second version or watched it a second time through shortly after, and it just really clicked for me. Had to be Jack Reacher.
Okay.
And just because I've seen the movies with Tom Cruise, and there was always something off about him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Alan Ritchson is so good as the character. Even though I knew the story, I've read the book, it just really worked.
Okay.
And I cannot wait for the second season. There were so many good series, but that's the one that I'm just like, yeah, that was the complete one to me.
Did you watch the series about the making of The Godfather?
I have not.
I have a friend who really loved. He's a huge fan of the movie, but he really loved that series, and I can't think of what it's called. You know what we're going to have to do next week is hopefully we can do what are we looking forward to most.
Okay.
Of series and movies.
We can do that. All right.
And yes, yeah, Jay, it is Ki-Adi-Mundi is the Jedi that I'm thinking of, the Conehead.
Okay.
We need.
And with that, we're going to have to wrap it up there. It has been a great catching back up, and we will see you all